I had no idea that a story would break that, quite frankly, is just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So, South African ambassador in France, Nyambose, who was also a former Minister of Arts and Culture and then former Minister of Police before that, Nathi Mthethwa, was found dead in a hotel. And the reports that we're getting seem to point in the direction that he committed suicide by jumping out of a window on the 22nd floor, right? That's all we have to go on. I have to say, though, just reading the story, for me, this seemed very unbelievable.
Yeah.
Not because people don't commit suicide. I mean, they do. But I think if you are an ambassador, that is possibly not how you'd want to go out. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to sit here and speculate how else you can kill yourself.
Right.
Because that's not for us to do. It's not a responsible thing to do. But jumping out of the 22nd floor seems very, very, very...
implausible.
Bruh. This is... Come on now.
Yeah.
But I don't know what else to say because I definitely wasn't there. So I can't say it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Hey, it's quite tricky, right? Because the latest report that we are seeing from News 24 is apparently that, his body was found in the interior courtyard of the hotel. So a lot of the reports we saw yesterday were saying that he actually jumped out of the window, but it seems as if he jumped from within the hotel. So from
also, a balcony, perhaps?
I would think and believe it was from a balcony. But the story itself is just quite bizarre. Particularly now, we just heard, some of us had even forgotten about the minister, right? That he was actually abroad and he was the ambassador. And we just recently heard about him in the commission. So from hearing about him in the commission and now seeing that, he plunged to his death, very, very bizarre story for me.
I'm glad you bring that up because when General Mkhwanazi spoke about him, he spoke about him in his capacity as the Minister of Police back then, right? He says, General Mkhwanazi that is, that he was summoned to the minister's office and there he was basically told to drop a matter that pertained to Richard Mzulu. Yes, all right? Now, Mkhwanazi then went on to say that was the most egregious act of political interference that he's ever encountered. And you can assume that with an allegation like that, Nathi Mthethwa was definitely going to appear in the commission to defend himself. Right? So it was definitely going to be somebody who's a witness who's called upon later. He obviously won't be able to do that now. Mpho?
For me, it's also the reports that the wife apparently had received messages of him, distress messages. We don't know what is in those distress messages, but also the fact that he was thought to have been, initially was reported missing, right?
Yes.
That's how the whole thing started. So he's reported missing, and then the next thing, allegedly he committed suicide. I've been in many hotels, guys, around the world. The higher you go, the less that window is allowed to open, right? And that is for purposes such as this, for safety reasons. So also there's reports that he apparently forced the window. I'm like,
maybe the pane was shattered, so we don't know.
But it's too much admin for someone who is allegedly trying to commit suicide. For me, it just, something is hitting the waters.
Well, let me tell you something else, right? So not only did he send a distressed message to his wife, allegedly, but then his phone was found in a park. So this would then mean that he sent the message, went out to the park, threw his phone away, then came back to the hotel and jumped.
All the way up.
Where was his security personnel? Because apparently he also left.
He removed himself.
He removed himself from the security personnel. So this story
it is a bizarre story to say the least.
Very bizarre. As soon as I learned of the detail that he removed himself from security, I just found the whole thing about messages also very concerning to say, is he the one who sent the messages? What could have possibly happened here?
Yeah, but also, now, let's just say he wasn't the one who sent the messages. That then implies that there was a third party, which would mean that his life was in danger. And if your life is in danger, the last thing you want to do is remove yourself from security people.
Right.
So because he did that willingly, we told, right?
Yeah.
So if you feel like somebody's after you, You're not going to remove your security people.
Of course. You see, what I love about what we're doing right now is exactly what Crispin Peary said we mustn't do as a nation. Do not speculate upon how he died. But it's because it is literally like a movie. It's a script out of a movie.
Yeah.
And the only person, unfortunately, who can tell us what happened is no longer here.
Let us know what your thoughts are. Nathi Mthethwa found dead yesterday at a hotel where we assume he was staying. Now, we've got some voice notes, but I've also got a text here from Clayson Monyela, who's head of public diplomacy at DIRCO. And he says, ambassadors don't really have security detail or bodyguards. They only have a driver. So I suppose if he was to excuse himself, he'd only excuse himself from his driver. There wasn't really any security detail.
I mean, bambulele labantu. I'm a crook now. Bambulele umntana abantu.
But I mean, who? You can't just say that and leave it open-ended, right? It's got to be back to some kind of evidence.
Hayi, ubulewe ayikho lento babonile ukuthi hayi uNhlanhla ubhokile. Babona kahle ukuthi ithi simbulale kungaze kuphume okukhulu. I don't think ukuthi angazibulala. If ezibulele naye ubalekele ijele kushubile.
Wedinango uNyamboza phela bekuyindoda yomZulu obengeke uNyamboza ahamba ephesheya ayozibulala ebazi kahle ukuthi kusafana landwe ngehlahla ozolanda ubani ngehlahla lephesheya ngoba seyibulele lephesheya nje hayi angadlalwa ngathi la akho Nyamboza ibulele la.
That's funny how he brings up Big Zulu. Shame, I don't mean to laugh because it's actually a tragic and a serious incident. Kodwa bomZulu awuyibulali.
Iconic Shamas, there's something that's hitting the water. The men cannot just die like that. So there's a third hand involved here. Or maybe it was too much for him to handle what was coming from Madlanga Commission. So the truth was going to be revealed. And so he couldn't take it. He was too depressed. Maybe he was pushed. Please leave your comment down below. Don't forget to like, share this video, leave your comment, do whatever it takes to voice your opinion regarding the passing of the former Minister of Police, Nathi Mthethwa. May his soul rest in peace.